I read so much that I knew I would finish the book, and I was like, I need to get the 6th and 7th one along with the 5th one because I know I'm about to finish this 5th one. So yeah, they came out with a series on Netflix, and I have seen every episode so far. I'm not ashamed. I'm very happy. So basically what this video is going to be about is some comparisons between the movie that came out in 2004 and the Netflix series. So I wrote some notes to compare, and let's see the comparison. Honestly, there's no really comparison, but I mean, you'll see. In my opinion, the Netflix series is so much better. If you are interested in watching the series on Netflix, I would totally recommend for you to read the book series first. That way you kind of don't miss out on anything. In the series so far, you know, they drop hints about the VFD, the Volunteer Fire Department, the Sugar Bowl. I believe that reference was dropped in like the 1st or 2nd episode of the season. So all those little things you're gonna miss because you didn't read the books. So I would definitely totally 100,000% recommend you read the books. But let's check out some, you know, differences between the movie and the Netflix series. I have 3 main things that are different between the Netflix series and the movie. So my number one thing is the plot. In the movie that came out in 2004, it starred Jim Carrey as Count Olaf. I was okay with his Count Olaf impression, but I know a lot of people hated it. My problem with the movie is that it covered the first 3 books and it hopped around. So it did not follow the sequence, which made things more confusing, and as a reader, I like stress like, yo, put everything where it needs to be, like we're not playing. So they didn't follow the sequence, and in the movie they hit the first 3 books and then ended back on the first book about something that happened in the first book, although they already introduced the 2nd and 3rd books, which is weird. With this being so, they tried to cram 3 books into like 105 minutes, I believe, and I was just so disappointed. I was like, they missed so many details, they missed this and this and this, like what is going on? So my first problem with the movie was the plot. Now the plot in the Netflix series is so well done. Each book gets 2 episodes, and I believe the episodes are like 45 minutes each. This allows for more complete adaptations of the story, and it allows you backstories into the story already. So you get the main story, and then you get these little tidbits here and there, and it's absolutely positively wonderful. The plot is followed so well. And because each book is given 2 episodes that are like 43 minutes each, you don't miss anything at all. All the details and all the plots are well developed. They don't rush through each book, missing so many things like they did in the movie. Because the movie was trying to be compacted into like this 105-minute thing, they rushed and missed so many things. So with the Netflix series being 2 episodes a book, the plot isn't rushed. Everything is kind of like nice and mellow and cool, how it's supposed to be. Number 2 thing between the difference is between the Netflix series and the movie is diversity. I always talk about this, especially with my best friend, because we read books all the time and things like that. Diversity is my thing. In the movie, everybody was white, and honestly, I'm getting at a point in my life where I'm just tired of seeing like movies that could be, I don't want to say it could be so much better if you put not even necessarily a black person, but like I want to see people of color in everything I watch. Like that's just kind of the mood that I'm getting in now. Like movies could be so much great, and I'm like, well, this actress would have played it better. I want to see color, I want to see diversity. In the movie, it wasn't a problem that everybody was white, but it was just like, where's the color? And there's so many actors and actresses out here that could literally do so amazing, but aren't casted. So it sucks. The movie lacked color, and that was a problem for me. It lacked diversity. It was sucky in the diversity department. Now the Netflix series, Mr. Poe, the banker of and in charge of the Baudelaire's affairs, he's black. And at first I was like, yo, this is kind of cool. Like, I was expecting to be this fat little white man who's always like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Always with the cough. And it's this like black dude. I was like, okay, number one, like, cool, this is awesome. And then some of Count Olive's henchmen, like, they're people of color too. The Hook-handed man, also Uncle Monty. I can't wait to talk about that episode. But he's a person of color too. The amount of diversity in there, just within the 8 episodes, it is present. It has people of color, and I absolutely, positively love it for that. My last thing that was kind of like an iffy thing for me between the movie and the books was Lemony Snicket itself. Like portraying the story. The first movie was just like a no. I believe the dude was just on the typewriter. It was like, oh, it is my duty to tell you the story of the Bodleys. Not laughing, but you know, whatever. I love so much that they have someone kind of like between intervals, like jumping in here and there to just like say what Lemony Snicket is saying throughout the book. While you're reading the book, at the very beginning, he'll give you like this warning, like, you know, if you don't want to read a sad story about children who will never find happiness and this and that, all this dreadful jazz. He says that at the beginning of almost every book, I think, and then also I believe at like some of the beginning of some chapters. So Lemony Snicket is actually, in the Netflix series, he's actually like involved in portraying the things that he says in the books that are written, and I absolutely love it, and he does so well. The person doing this is Patrick Warburton. I don't know if I'm saying their name right, but that is him, the dude who is talking and interjecting. He's kind of like a figment, no one really sees him, but he's there talking. If you're like, yo, why does this dude's like voice sound so familiar? It's because he's Crunk from Emperor's New Groove. That is his voice. That's where you might recognize him from. He is talking and speaking, and he's not like, I don't know, like overwhelmingly dreadful and sad. He shows concern for the Baudelaires and like mellow. So yeah, those are my 3 things between the differences between the Netflix series and the movie: the plot, diversity, and then just the storytelling in general. In my opinion, the Netflix series blows it out of the water. In my opinion, the Netflix series is way better than the movie. There are certain things in the movie that are severely lacking, and it just didn't add up to what was expected and wanted from a great book series like that. And the Netflix series nailed it on the freaking head. So I'm very happy about that. Overall, I just know a lot of us readers who were so thrilled to see a movie coming out. We were just left disappointed, like, yo, like, is this really it? Is that all you're giving us? So, yeah, the Netflix series is great. I would totally recommend you watching it. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video on my kind of distinctions between the Netflix series and the movie. Make sure to subscribe and like this video if you're a book reader like I am, and if you like a series of unfortunate events, the Netflix series or the movie.